Christian Bale was preparing for his role in American Psycho, dressing the part, hitting the gym, getting his teeth redone. There was just one problem. He didn't actually have the part. Leonardo DiCaprio did. What Went Wrong is a podcast dedicated to the idea that every movie is a miracle. Join Lizzie Bassett and Chris Winterbauer every other week as they unearth the chaos and humanity behind Hollywood's biggest flops and most shocking successes. They aren't here to dunk on your favorite films. They're here to celebrate movies. As the New York Times said, they're movie industry people who truly love films and the people who make them. Listen to What Went Wrong wherever you get your podcasts. This episode of One Hit Thunder is brought to you by DistroKid.
When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
This week, Jim Logrando sits in to discuss the spaced-out swagger of Monster Magnet's 1998 hit, Space Lord. As a loyal listener since discovering the band in the late 90s, Jim brings his passion for these groove metal pioneers to the table as we dig into their unlikely brush with mainstream success. With its psychedelic riffs, tongue-in-cheek bravado, and a hook that crashed into the mainstream rock charts, Space Lord became the very first video ever played on MTV's Total Request Live. But despite that moment in the spotlight, we're left wondering, does this even count? Join us as we examine whether Monster Magnet's Cosmic Trip qualifies as a true one-hit wonder.
There's a car in the field now in a column of flame, with 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name.
One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
So Jim, welcome back to the show. We're finally going to talk about this Monster Magnet band who you have brought up many times before.
Jim, you and I were listening to Monster Magnet for at least 2 hours yesterday, driving to and from a Punchline show.
Weren't we ever?
And,
wow.
And the thing that came up in that drive was how much you fucking loved Monster Magnet in 1998 when this album dropped.
Oh, man, I sure did. It came out the summer between 11th and 12th grade. I could drive around. I had a little Sony Discman, on the front seat. I could pop in my copy of Power Trip and I could fucking drive from here to California if I want to, baby. It was just so powerful.
I want to quote an exact sentence that you said at approximately 1:15 in the morning as we were heading home. When you said, my favorite thing about Monster Magnet is it reminds me of a point in my youth when I couldn't tell if something was good or bad.
No, that's true in a sense. Because here's the thing, right? So I get this copy of Power Trip, and you just listen to the CD from front to back over and over and over again. And it was like a CD I sort of had early in the CD revolution. Like, it was not my first CD that I had ever gotten. The first CD I ever got was REM's Monster.
Okay.
All right, so 1994, 1995.
Yeah, so,
all
right. So then when this finally came, it was sort of just like, I got a CD. I'm going to listen to every song on it. And if I think a song is cool, it was just like I didn't have the discerning taste of being like, I like track 4, 6, and 8. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm going to listen to all of them. I'm going to cut the grass. I'm going to do the whole thing.
It's a great way that doesn't exist very more of like, yo, I spent my $15 to $18 on this thing. It is going to get played. And I'm either, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to give it an honest chance. Like, listen through the whole thing. Now it's you put something on for 5 seconds, skip through all the songs, listen to 10 seconds. You might never listen to it again.
Right.
If you spent money on something or you acquired it somehow, you have a collection of things. I do think it could have been responsible for some albums I liked that I might have not otherwise liked. We know Matt Kelly would make mix CDs of his least favorite songs on the albums
I had to figure out a way to like them.
That's right.
I had to Stockholm myself into liking some songs.
Right.
Chris, I want to ask you about a genre of music.
Oh.
Are you familiar, and I don't know if Monster Magnet identifies as this style of music, but it's what I always associate them with. Are you familiar with like what groove or stoner metal is?
So yeah, I am. And if you wouldn't have said groove, that's what I would associate it with. Is some sort of groove to it, and
it's like a little bit of psychedelic inspiration, and like
right,
like you said, the good examples are like a group like Clutch or like early White Zombie. There's this like. It's not something that makes you want to headbang so much as it makes you just kind of like bob your head, like you're kind of just like in the zone while you're listening.
So
to
that's
it.
what they're considered. Like,
I think that they have a lot of that influence.
I feel like they're kind of the quintessential stoner rock band, I guess, whatever you want to sort of call that. I don't know. It's like, to me, it's very sludgy, but it's not so. It's like you're just sort of suspended above the sludge.
Yeah,
like you're not quite in the sludge yet, but you're kissing it.
And the stoner rock of it all seems to be very apparent because their 2 demo tapes were called "Forget About Life, I'm High on Dope," and "I'm Stoned, What Are You Gonna Do About It?"
That's right, baby. The fuck are you gonna do about it?
All right, don't make me love this, man.
Oh, dude, look. You're gonna, by the end of this, Chris, you're gonna fucking love Monster Magnet. You have to.
But I got to tell you, you guys, I didn't do as much preparation for this episode as I normally would for reasons I just missed.
I either forgot to put it in an email
you put it in there.
it was in there.
It.
Okay,
but you guys went out for some coffee and stuff, and you said, Chris, while you run on the treadmill, you got to watch Monster Magnet videos, and I said, no way I'm doing that. And I ended up doing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I gotta say, like, judging by the music videos, now this probably predates some of this stuff, but there's a lot of like elements of nu metal and nu metal, and I would almost say like we're talking close to like a Kid Rockish type of thing.
I
happening.
am so excited to tell you this next sentence because Jim and I had a conversation about this in the car as well. Is that I said, did you know that Kid Rock's first charting single, I Am the Bull God, was inspired by Monster Magnet?
Okay.
To which Jim said, that ain't Monster Magnet's fault.
Yeah, that's totally the truth, man. They can't. Monster Magnet can't control who likes them or not. And look, I get it. You listen to Monster Magnet, you're gonna be fucking stoked about it too. So, like, how do you blame Kid Rock?
There was just a little bit of even in the videos, like the stuff like women in scantily clad women.
You could edit scenes from the Space Lord video and ba with the ba and not be able to tell where one video ended and one began.
I understand that's not Monster Magnet's fault, but maybe is it Monster Magnet's fault? Did Monster Magnet inspire some pretty horrible stuff?
I mean, you could also ask that exact same question with like Rage Against the Machines and nu metal.
I guess. Yeah. I got to say, there was a level of lameness to parts of these songs and these videos that I couldn't get past, even if I was in 1998.
I mean, dude, come on. You know that they didn't write these songs with Brian Wilson. So, like, let's be serious. It's not like, they had somebody in there being like, I'm sorry, Dave.
I know.
We just don't quite get.
Maybe you have to have a certain level of appreciation for the 80s hair metal, which I know you do, where it's a lot of like, as you guys mentioned, I guess one of the lyrics is about a tit, drinking from a tit. There's a lot of tit and a lot of, I don't know what else.
Look, let's analyze the lyrics to the hit actually. So the song says, "I've been stuffed in your pocket for the last 100 days, and when I don't get a bath, I take it out on the slaves. So grease up your baby for a ball on the hill.
Ball on the hill.
I polished them rockets and I swallowed those pills and sang Space Lord Mother Mother, which we later found out was written as Space Lord Motherfucker. And then someone at the record label was like, "This sounds like your hit. Change that lyric."
So there is no version that's Motherfucker? I assumed I was hearing the edited version.
So according to, and you can hear it actually on the internet. There's it's
like there
was a 7-inch of something before it came out where they actually say that. But what's mind-blowing to me now as we're looking at this is, so I remember listening to this in 1998, and I'm like, how is this not saying motherfucker? Because other songs on Power Trip have fuck in them.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? You know what I mean? Because and the video doesn't do it either. And then at the time, it's also not like we couldn't do a deep dive on the internet to figure out these different things of like these versions. So I was like, none of this matches up. I guess they don't say it, even though all of the signs point to that being the lyric. Turns out it was a lyric.
And by 1998, wouldn't that be in the pro column to swear in a song? Like nu metal, Limp Bizkit, things like that were happening. Don't you think it would almost behoove them to say that and have them censor it?
I'm just shocked it wasn't just like
just
there
the
or
video
beat or
edit,
something or who even knows.
Yeah,
that's true.
So the thing about this that I threw this out there earlier when I said there's a little bit of like psychedelic inspiration. And it certainly is most prevalent in the abstractness of the lyrics of these songs. Because you're looking at the next verse and it says, "There's a car in the field and a column of flame, 2 doors to choose, but only one bears your name. You've been drinking my blood and I've been licking your wounds. I'll shave off the pitch now and scoop your tunes." Like everything's like, what the fuck is this song about? Like,
what is their shtick, Jim? Are they supposed to be from outer space? Is that their thing?
Dude, I don't think this is a shtick. It's just, rock tunes that have themes and lyrics that are just, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's like just straight like this is what my brain thought up and I put it out there and I'm not going to edit it type stuff, or I'm not sure. It's not to my understanding, it doesn't feel like it's not like a Gwar type situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it does say that the recording of this particular album, the lead singer and the main songwriter flew to Las Vegas, got a hotel room 10 miles outside of the city, and he made it a goal to write a single song every single day for the 21 days that he was in Vegas. And he said because of that, most of the songs are inspired by the themes of Vegas that involves lots of naked women and people consistently losing their money.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it's supposed to be like, I think what walks that line, right, is I think that Monster Magnet writes songs about these things in a very neutral, ambivalent perspective of it, whereas the things that it inspired wrote it in a celebratory style. You know what I mean? Because even when you watch that video for Space Lord, there are like scantily clad women like dancing around him, but he's not even like really paying attention to them like at all. You know what I mean? Like he's like just staring straight down the camera singing the song. Where if you think about like a Limp Bizkit or a Kid Rock song, even 2 years later, they'd be like fucking grabbing ass and like being all up in there. So I almost wonder if the whole point of their music is like the ambivalence of the bad shit that happens.
A nihilistic attitude towards it.
Yeah, like just kind of like, we're just here.
Well, you're giving him a lot of credit. Go ahead, Jim.
So we've been talking a lot, and we'll dive into the video here, because the video is sort of an iconic. I feel like that's, in a way, the part of the story of what rocketed this particular song to its like heights, or at least like cultural place in the cultural zeitgeist. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So first of all, this video. So why did this video come up the way that it was? You said you watched it. You were on the treadmill, right? So you're kind of familiar, right? They're in Vegas. They're doing some stuff. It's kind of the thing. Okay, that's because the singer of this band, who has been in Monster Magnet since the day it was incepted to this day currently, he is the only founding member of the band that still remains in the band to this day.
Okay.
All right. So his name is Dave Windorf.
That's the singer.
The singer, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
wispy long hair.
You're picturing him in your mind's eye.
Yes.
Okay. So he said that the only current rock stars of the time were rappers. So he wanted to make and have a rap style video for this song. So the director they got, and we'll talk about him in a second. His name is Joseph Kahn. Okay, so Joseph Kahn he was like, what video are you talking about? And so Dave showed him this Mace video.
Feels so good.
Okay, for Feels So Good.
You know that one? Ooh, girl, I love you so.
Okay. And so Joseph Kahn reaches out to Hype Williams, the director of that video. And Hype Williams is like, here's a location list for all the places we went for all these things. Wow. So Joseph is like, cool, we're just going to go shoot this video at the same exact places and use some of the same blocking and things of the Mace video, and basically made an unintentional spoof of the Mace video for this thing, okay? And this video featured a guest appearance from Twiggy, who is the guitarist for Marilyn Manson. So he's in that. And so there's all the stuff. And now Joseph Kahn, who has made himself a pretty good video. Do you know who Joseph Kahn is?
I was going to say, he did like a shit ton of movies later, didn't he?
He has made films, but he is I'm sure he's famous for films and from music videos. He won a Grammy for making the music video for Eminem's Without Me.
Okay.
He won a Grammy for making Taylor Swift's video for Bad Blood featuring Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
Amongst other Taylor Swift videos, he did Blank Space. He did some other ones like from Everlong or whatever the fuck,
Everlast? You said Everlong.
Yeah. I thought I said whatever. I don't know what it's called. Evermore? Isn't that the
something.
Song? Yeah. I knew it was
Evermore.
Everlong.
Oh, you're talking about Taylor Swift.
I'm talking about Taylor Swift.
Evermore.
We're talking about Taylor, baby. And also, Mr. Joseph Kahn, he has made one of the most expensive music videos ever that clocked into $2.5 million for Miss Janet Jackson Doesn't Really Matter.
Wow. Okay.
And Space Lord music video, baby. That's right.
I am charmed by this, though, that Dave from the band, he had no clue that they were literally recreating this Mace video so tightly that he actually felt really bad about it and contacted Mace and like wanted to show him the video in advance and be like, hey, we didn't mean to do this, but this is almost exactly like your video. And apparently Mace found the whole story really funny and was like, this is great.
Yeah, he was totally cool with it.
I got no problem with this at all.
There was no beef.
I do love this story about the background of this song, Space Lord. This story does not help me understand anything about this song, for the record. He said, I hurt my knee and I had some time off, so I spent it in a dominatrix's apartment in New Orleans, and our record company forwarded me a press release from Europe, and in Germany they called me the Space Lord, and she saw it and she started taking the piss on me and saying, oh, you think you're some sort of Space Lord? And I said, someday when I can walk again, I will make you pay for taunting me and write a song about you.
Where are these guys from?
Well, so the band was formed out of Red Bank, New Jersey.
Okay.
So they were in that. And we can get into, I got a whole segment that we can
where
go through
Kevin Smith
the
is
history
from.
of it. Yeah, that's true.
Kevin Smith and Monster Magnet, the two biggest exports from Red Bank, New Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah. No, perfect. So with Space Lord in this video, just to wrap it, one other little fact of it is that it holds a record with Total Request Live, where it appeared on TRL in 1998 5 times, but never went higher than number 7.
Okay.
So it was
Weird
on that list
record.
a lot, but it was that's the thing. And then also with Space Lord specifically, it peaked at number 3 on the mainstream rock chart. And that's like basically where it went, and that's why I guess it's considered a hit.
Also, I think you're skipping the other big thing. This was the first video to ever be played on Total Request Live.
Really?
This was the number 10 song on the first day that Total Request Live aired in 1998.
Interesting, because I do know a fact that Total Request Live started in 1998 and was exploded by Britney Spears' Baby One More Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, also being in 11th grade,
Yeah.
love that video myself.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the perfect age to watch that video.
You know, there's a factoid that I learned about Monster Magnet that I didn't piece together at first, but now that you're telling me they were from Red Bank, New Jersey, it all makes sense. Because when I was reading this, it said that at one point their drummer left and was replaced with the drummer from the band Love Among Freaks, which is a band I'm going to assume none of the people in this room have ever heard of. No. The only thing that Love Among Freaks is known for is being Kevin Smith's friends and writing the song Berserker for Clerks.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
My love is like a ticking clock berserker.
So yeah, the Berserker, one of the guys from the
Making
Berserker
fuck
band is now in Monster
Berserker.
Magnet.
Okay. I mean, it kind of sounds about
It
right.
makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, so hey, well, I'm gonna have to hold on. I'm just so fired up about Monster Mag. I gotta crack this cold
Jim
one.
is drinking Coors,
Coors
not
Heavy.
Coors Light, Coors Heavy.
Dude, it's yeah.
The
You guys gotta
banquet
get it.
beer,
Yeah.
right? Is it the banquet beer?
Yeah, dude, because we're about to feast on some Monster Magnet facts.
Yeah.
So, all
right.
right. So on
Hit me
on
with
this
them.
list. Okay, so this is a top 10 when Space Lord was number 3. Here's what was going on this list. Okay.
Okay.
We got coming in at number 10, Smashing Pumpkins, Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
On its way up on the charts. Number 9, Rage Against the Machine, No Shelter.
Okay.
On its way up. Now, you know why this Space Lord was short-lived. There's a couple things on here you can be like, oh shit, of course. Because number 8 that week was, and on its way up, was 1 week by the Bare Naked Ladies.
Okay.
Coming in at number 7 then, on its way, but this is on its way down, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls.
Oh yeah, jam.
Number 6 on its way up, Marcy Playground's second single.
Oh, wow.
Saint Joe on the
Joe's.
School Bus.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5 on the way up, Jerry Cantrell solo from Alice in Chains with one of your faves, I'm sure, My Song,
Okay.
written for Chris Fafalius. All right. And then on its way up, Eve 6, Inside Out.
Wow. Okay.
Number 3, Space Lord, Monster Magnet. Number 2, Intergalactic by the Beastie Boys.
Ah, yes.
And what do you think number 1 was that week?
Oh,
Any guesses?
1998. Was it Blink?
July 11th, 1998.
Blink?
You got a guess, Matt?
All those small things? No, that would come later.
No,
it ain't Blink because that wasn't until next year.
I'm gonna say Manson.
Ooh, great guess. No, I'm sorry, guys. It was Days of the New with the Downtown. How
Yeah.
did you not remember that?
I love that single. That's the one that goes, bring me down, town.
Wow, I did not even remember that. So
I
okay,
don't know
so
that song.
nice.
I
And
mean,
then
it wasn't their other hit.
What is there? I'm not the one who's so. That's not them?
No, that's Godsmack. They're the one
That's
that was,
definitely
Now
Godsmack.
I finally found a
Oh,
reason.
yeah.
I don't need an excuse.
Do they have a song called Touch, Peel, and Stand?
That's that song.
Oh, okay.
Where they say none of those words anywhere in the song.
They also have one too. I think I remember that has a really squeaky acoustic guitar at the beginning, like when it's going squeak.
Well, so
Squeak.
the
Yep,
so the
yep.
other thing with that band is that
They love squeaky guitar.
well, no. So there was Days of New, which was like, hey, we're going to be an acoustic grunge band. They record that album. The lead singer fires the entire band and
So
hires.
now they're Days of the Old.
No, so that would have been a better name. Then all of the guys that got fired formed the band Tantric. That sounds exactly like Days of New. They did that song. I know the breakdown. Everything
sure,
is going
yeah.
to shake down
Yeah, who could
someday.
forget that?
If
And the guy that they hired for Tantric fired all of them and got a group of hired guns for the next album.
if you're a big fan of Days of the New, do you drop the? They're just Days of New.
Days of New.
I wanted to ask, like, I know that the term butt rock came along after the fact or whatever. Is Monster Magnet butt rock? They sound pretty butt rockish to me.
I don't know, man.
I think that it's
too
I'm
fuzzy to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna push back on that just because I think it's too weird for butt rock. I think butt rock is like as generic as a rock song can possibly sound.
Okay.
Like I just think the sheer presence that there's even a little bit of like psychedelic anything in there immediately excludes them from that conversation.
Okay.
True.
But it dances dangerously close to it. I would agree.
When I was looking at famous uses of Space Lord, 2 things popped out. One is it's prominently featured in Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby.
Oh.
Yeah.
But then also it was used in some commercial for a Swedish store called JC that stands for Jeans and Clothes. And I looked on the internet to watch this commercial. And it's I don't know why Space Lord is in it, but it's actually pretty great. It's like a picture, it's like a bunch of images that are different things that are almost like Matrix style. And like the only one I can remember at the moment is like some guy is like, it's like he's slipping on a banana peel or something. And he's just like in the air, like this. And it's all just the thing is moving around it, but everything is still.
Okay.
And there's like 10 different images of different shit like that. Like somebody's jumping off a building or whatever. But the only thing in it, it's like as somebody's jumping off this building and it's like, in frozen motion, there's these arrows pointing to it, like to his pants or whatever. It says like what it is because it's like on deal or whatever the thing is.
Okay.
But the only stuff they say is just Space Lord. So it's all like boom, 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 boom. It was nuts. But
Okay.
I mean, I do think that as weird as this song can be, that the instrumental track works for something that you could just underlay in movies and TV shows and commercials, because it's got like that chung 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 like opening, and then when it rocks out, it is like it's just like a feel good rock sound where it's like just pop that instrumental underneath anything.
Yeah,
it works.
You're gonna take your car to 88 miles an hour.
Okay. Hey there, One Hit Thunder listeners. Are you ready to take your music to the next level? Well, get ready to rock, because this episode is brought to you by DistroKid, the ultimate digital music distribution service for artists like you. With DistroKid, you can easily upload your songs or albums to online stores and streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music, reaching fans all around the globe. But that's just the beginning. DistroKid offers a ton of awesome features like Hyperfollow, which helps you promote your releases and get pre-saves on your songs, all for free. But wait, there's more. The DistroKid app is now available on iOS and Android. With the app, you can manage your releases, track your streaming stats, and even withdraw your earnings, all from the palm of your hand. And for those looking to perfect their sound, check out Mixia. This powerful tool allows you to put the finishing touches on your tracks in minutes, ensuring they sound polished and professional every time. But that's not all. DistroKid has just launched a brand new feature called Instant Share, allowing you to easily share large files securely with collaborators, producers, and more. With Instant Share, you can keep your music streaming at the highest quality while making the best impression possible. So what are you waiting for? Elevate your music career today with DistroKid and unlock a world of possibilities. Possibilities that I know all about because I've been using DistroKid for years. It's seriously great. If you haven't used it before, you're going to love it. And One Hit Thunder listeners get an exclusive offer, 30% off your first year with DistroKid by signing up at distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder. That's distrokid.com/VIP/OneHitThunder.
I think you're on mute.
Workday's starting to sound the same.
I think you're on mute.
Find something that sounds better for your career on LinkedIn. With LinkedIn Job Collections, you can browse curated collections by relevant industries and benefits, like flex PTO or hybrid workplaces, so you can find the right job for you. Get started at linkedin.com/jobs. Finding where you fit. LinkedIn knows how.
This episode is brought to you by eBay. We all have that piece. The one that's so you've basically become known for it. And if you don't yet, fashionistas, you'll find it on eBay. That Miu Miu red leather bomber, the Custo Barcelona cowboy top, or that Patagonia fleece in the 2017 colorway. All these finds are all on eBay, along with millions of more main character pieces backed by authenticity guarantee. eBay is the place for pre-loved and vintage fashion. eBay, things people love.
Savor every last drop of summer with Starbucks. From bold refreshers to rich cold brews, the sunniest season only gets better with a handcrafted iced beverage in your hand. Available for a limited time. Your summer favorites are ready at Starbucks.
My day kicks off with a refreshing Celsius energy drink, then straight to the gym. Pre-K pickup, back home to meal prep. Time for my fire station shift. One more Celsius, gotta keep the lights on. When the 3-alarm hits, I'm ready. Celsius. Live, fit, go. Grab a cold, refreshing Celsius at your local retailer or locate now at Celsius.com.
Introducing the Internet Supreme Court,
a live stream show that casts judgment on anything the internet touches, from memes to billionaires.
We served Elon Musk with a court summons.
He still hasn't responded.
Because he's a coward.
Join us every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We're on Twitch and YouTube Live. Find out more at InternetSupremeCourt.com.
That's InternetSupremeCourt.com. We're also on Instagram and Blue Sky.
Hear that, Elon? Blue Sky.
So I think there's some interesting things to say about Monster Magnet's career.
All right, let's
So I'm
hear
going to
it.
pop in and say that. Okay, so we mentioned before that they are from Red Bank, New Jersey, formed in 1989, home of Kevin Smith, home of Elsie's Submarine Sandwiches. Is a great fucking deli. Shout out, Elsie's. If you're listening, Appreciate you.
Yeah, buy some ads on our show.
do some ads. Just do some trade. I'm willing to do some trade. I'll drive out and get you a sub. Anyways, back into them. All right, so they put their first record out in 1991. It was called Spine of God. And they got to tour with Soundgarden. So they supported Soundgarden on that tour. All right, which led them to signing to their first major, well, I guess maybe only, but they had a major label deal with A&M. So then they signed with A&M. They put out a record called Super Judge, and it was a commercial flop. Although when you listen to it, sounds like Monster Magnet. So they got it going. There's some stuff that's in there. I'm not saying like listen to this song or that song, but it's it scratches that itch.
Okay.
All right. So then they put out, I guess it must have been like a 3-record deal or something, because they got a chance to put another record out, which was called Dopes to Infinity. That was a follow-up to, which was the precursor to Power Trips. That's where we're at. It had a song called Megasonic Teenage Warhead.
Yes.
That was in high MTV rotation.
Video.
And do you remember anything else about that music video?
No. What about it?
It is featured as one of the videos in Beavis and Butthead, baby.
Oh, okay.
Which I watched that again to see what they said about it, and they didn't say it. So the video is kind of this wild thing where on this planet and all this stuff, and the rocks look very they look a lot like fecal matter. So Beavis goes on a whole tangent about all that, where Butthead is eventually like, "Hey, Beavis, stop talking about poop."
Okay. All right.
But they don't really talk about Monster Magnet to say that it's cool or sucks or anything. So, but hey, wouldn't it be cool to be a Beavis and Butthead original band to have a video on there? Which also, the song Megasonic Teenage Warhead led specifically to Marvel creating an X-Men character that's named Megasonic Teenage Warhead, which the artist who developed this character that is part of X-Men canon, Matt can probably speak to this as the Chancellor of Geekscape.
I don't know that much, but I know that she's the main character in Deadpool 2.
Right. So she's in some. Okay. So anyways, the artist Grant Morrison was like, "Yes, I made this character after the song by Monster Magnet."
Wow. That's kind of wild. Do they get some sort of kickback for that?
I just think they get to say that it. Look, who knows?
Wow.
I don't know what the fine print is, but maybe they're just like, "Yeah, we created that character."
Wow.
And then things. So so then that leads to, they get a little recognition with this stuff, which leads them to putting out Power Trip in '98, which is what Matt mentioned, that he moved to Las Vegas to work on it for a while. Okay, so this record, of course, on the back of Space Lord goes gold, and they get to support on tour when that's out. They've supported Aerosmith, Metallica, and the boy you thought that was Monster Magnet, Rob Zombie.
Okay.
But then I think that this is the other cool thing. Well, not cool thing, interesting thing. They were also part of what is considered one of the most catastrophic tours of the 90s.
You got to let me talk about it, unless you got it teed up.
I don't have it. But do you remember when Hole and Marilyn Manson tried to go on tour together in the 90s?
Hole and Marilyn Manson?
Yep. And Jim, you can dive into the deeper part of the story, but very quickly it became clear that there are few people on this planet that hate each other more than Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson. Yeah. And I think the tour lasted, 11 dates before eventually Hole left?
Okay, so Monster Magnet gets to be the opening band for this tour that's conceived. That's Hole and Marilyn Manson and Monster Magnet.
Monsters
the Beautiful Monsters Tour, yes. And so, of course, there's this beef between Courtney Love and Marilyn Manson. They're in the press. He had written something in an autobiography that was basically saying that she banged all his friends but didn't bang him, or something that was that led to some very public back and forth between the two of them, which is everybody's why is this even coming together? But you know why it was coming together, because of money, baby.
Right.
You have a lot of controversy. You get these people out there. You get to sell some ticks. So that's what is probably the situation. So, of course, it garnered a large amount of media attention, but was billed as a potentially volatile mix due to the public feud that we just talked about, right? So how did this come about? Well, of course, Hole's management company, Q Prime, which is also Metallica's manager, and there's all kinds of other huge artists with Q Prime. They teased in the press that she wanted to go on tour with Alanis Morissette, but instead behind the scenes they were working on this Manson thing. So they put it together and they have it go out where it was there was supposed to be a deal where it was all 50-50 of costs, but apparently a Hole had gotten mad, and this led to why it was ending before, because this was the tour that Manson was doing Mechanical Animals, which is that weird like I don't know if it's
the boob alien thing.
and stuff. And so the set was this wild thing where it was basically Manson's production was way more than what Hole's production
Hole's
was.
just like plugging in and playing.
But they were having to basically pay for it. So they were pissed about that. And then like, that's why they had left the tour. But the reason also there was jokes about it, Manson said, what better role models to lead the youth of America into the new millennium than the two of us, meaning Courtney Love and him. So that's why the tour had to basically come together. Okay, so Hole left like 7-ish days. I don't know the total number of days. It doesn't necessarily matter. It was like, let's say 2 weeks into this like 8-week tour is going on. So Manson continues the tour with Monster Magnet and some other bands under the name, what is it here? Because it's funny because, it's called Rock is Dead. They call it Rock is Dead, but at the exact same time that this tour comes back out as Rock is Dead, there was a Korn tour with somebody else, Rob Zombie or something, also called Rock is Dead, which then they like got into some litigation or something about to have to deal with, or they compensated for doing it at the same time. But anyways, but Monster Magnet got to play the first 3 shows of this tour before they were replaced by a band called Jack Off Jill.
Okay. All right.
So if you're nervous and worried, Manson and Courtney Love are good now.
Wow.
Billy Corgan in 2014 got them to hang out and posted a picture of the 3 of them with the caption, "I helped bury the hatchet."
Oh, thank God. I was worried.
But that handle's still sticking out of the ground.
Yeah.
They follow up Power Trip in 2001 with an album called God Says No, and it is the like commercial flop of all commercial flops. The Monster Magnet train may have left the station by 2001. And so that went through a bunch of member changes, and that's sort of now like their future, other than Dave being in it from there on.
Uh-huh.
All right. So other things that sort of happened in this time frame, because it took another 8 years until they put out another album after this one. But in that short time span, in 2002, they wrote the theme song for WWE wrestler Matt Hardy. So he used that song for most of his career.
For 8 years.
Right. Okay. And then I guess they must have been working on music, but in 2006, Dave Windorf overdosed on some medication that wasn't like, from my reading of it, it wasn't like he was just a fucking drug abuser and this thing happened. It was like something happened that like he was like treating an ailment and it just like went awry or something like that. But then he had to he lived and had to recover from that. So that must have been a while, which is explained why it was 8 years in between. Because I can't imagine they would have just like kept this music under wraps for some reason. Like, it's not ready.
Right.
we don't have the right interplanetary themes yet.
All right. Yeah.
But then, so because Power Trip, the themes, or Power Trip, the title track to the album is such a fucking banger. It was used as the theme song to WWE's No Way Out pay-per-view.
Okay, so this is just WWE.
Yeah, they're a wrestling rock band for sure.
Okay.
That's it. So that's really they put out, so after Power Trip, they put out 8 more albums to this day. They have 11 albums in their catalog to this day, and they're still doing it, man, because in 2024, they toured Europe celebrating 35 years of Monster Magnet.
Okay. I can respect that. It doesn't mean I'm going to listen to them, but I can respect the fact that Dave, anyway, has kept it together, even if it's just with various different members, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's done his thing. Seemed to predate, like you're saying, it might have influenced some pretty bad music to come, but predates it. Like if you're saying Kid Rock was like influenced by it or something, well, Monster Magnet was first, and yeah, they can't help it. And if they predated what we're calling butt rock a little bit, like maybe that was the beginnings of butt rock, but Matt claims they're a little too interesting to be butt rock. So,
I mean, I think that they're dangerously close to butt rock, but yes, I think that they're just a little more unique than like just regular ass riffs.
Okay, are you listening to Monster Magnet?
I like Monster Magnet, yeah.
Do you?
Yep. Here's the quote I was looking for. Kid Rock's song "I Am the Bull God" is a tribute to the band Monster Magnet. Described the song's style as southern rock mixed with elements of funk, and Billboard even categorized the song "I Am the Bull God" as stoner rock. So yeah, he was like, yep, it's inspired by their stuff. I like their sound. I wanted to do something that sounded like them. In the grand scheme of Kid Rock songs, there's certainly been way worse. Like everything he's put out since 2000 and beyond, really. But yeah, I had Power Trip. I had Dopes to Infinity. Like this was one I didn't have to
Wait
research
a second.
much.
I thought you said that Jim was playing all these songs for you, and I thought you were under the impression. I was under the impression you were like me when it came to Monster Magnet.
No, he was like, let's put this on, and I didn't protest much because I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm trying to focus on the GPS so I can put on whatever.
Okay.
But I sang along with a few of the songs. I really like the song "See You in Hell." That's on this one.
That's a great song. There's on this Power Trip record, "Baby Goddardmerong" is absolutely hands down my favorite. Slow jam, but the chorus is, "I looked in the mirror and somebody blew up. I turned on my TV and somebody blew up.
Okay.
I learned how to lie well or something and somebody blew up. Learned how to live true and somebody blew up."
Okay.
It's
You're
so
not
fucking
winning
great.
him over with that lyric.
I'm sorry, Billy Shakespeare.
This ain't, I mean, I don't, whatever. I can like any lyric. I just, their style just doesn't do it for me. It doesn't move me. But once again, I wasn't there. You're a kid with this
I
album.
love how you said I wasn't there. You definitely existed in the time
I
of Monster
existed,
Magnet
but I
and Power
wasn't
Trip.
there buying the CD and rocking to
I was
it.
gonna say, I feel like '98. We are in prime indie punk label Chris Fafalios.
Yeah, I liked punk and ska punk and some emo and indie music and stuff at that time. As really, I'm pretty far away from this sound and style, and it was never something I was into in the first place. I didn't come from. It's just like when I talk about hair metal and stuff, I didn't like that. That's not where I came from.
Yeah.
So I'm inherently not gonna like this. It's not made for me.
I know that PJ has talked about like getting cool music from his cousins. You know what I mean? Like you talk to your older cousin and then you get to hear that kind of stuff. And I feel like I had the same in that sense, but with metal stuff, because my older cousins are like, you should check out Ride the Lightning, you should check out Guar's This Toilet Earth, and like all these different things that like you're going to intake in that way. And then when you're that young, you're like, oh man, I love Metallica sound and stuff. So for me, that's a gateway to Monster Magnet.
And weirdly enough for me, I find that stoner metal is probably the type of metal I like the most because I like the groove to it. I like that it's not like I can listen to thrash fine, but it's not like what I go to because I don't like things where it's just like the whole point is that it's fast and it just makes you want to like fucking punch something. Like I like that groove metal's like designed by nature to be background music essentially. Like it's just like it's stuff to drive to, it's stuff that's like it's just like a moody sound. It's a little bit more I don't know, I like ambient-y stuff.
And to me, man, Monster Magnet feels like the modern day, the 90s version of Iron Butterfly or Mountain or some kind of
no, I think that there's
more like psychedelic-ish thing, but then it's like it's just adding more like sounds on top of fuzz.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we can do the.
I realize it ain't for everybody, right? No one's like, oh, why was this a commercial failure? Well, hey, look, again, it ain't for everybody, but if it's for you, it is really for you.
Yeah.
But fellas, I know you guys don't get a chance. We can try this. I kind of threw together a little bit of a game if you guys want to play each other. And now it's not related to Monster Magnet history because I realize you guys don't have your PhDs yet. So how can I ask all those kinds of things? But it does have to do with the year 1998.
I feel good about my chances.
Okay. So we'll see. And it's semi-prepared, so we'll see how we can do this on the fly, but let's just go through and see what it is. Okay, right? Okay, so again, the year 1998. The rules, as we remember, this is for the listeners' benefit, is someone's going to shout out Monster, someone's going to shout out Magnet. So you're going to be Monster, you're Magnet, right?
Magnet.
Okay.
I'm glad I got Magnet.
2 points. 2 points if you get it without the multiple choice. 1 if you do use a multiple choice. But if you try to guess, you lose a point. But I understand. But the listeners, maybe this is the first episode they're dropping in.
Someone's like, I love Monster Magnet. I need to hear what they have to say.
I got to hear what these guys are talking about. They must be so knowledgeable. All right. So, 1998. This website that has been a big part of many people's lives since it debuted and even to this day. appears
Magnet.
on the net. Oh,
Google.
that's right.
Damn it.
was Google. We got
All right.
Chris
All
out
right.
the gate with 2
2-0.
Okay, so question number 2.
Okay.
This, I guess we'll say, studio tool, recording music studio tool becomes in vogue.
Magnet.
Monster. Oh, Chris got there first.
Okay,
Chris got there first.
fair.
Pro Tools.
Ooh, I'm sorry. That's a
That's right.
minus
It's
point.
gonna be Monster because it's auto tune because this is the year that Cher's Believe came out.
That's 100% right. All right, so we got
question.
Matt Kelly 2,
1.
Chris 1, only because you were too confident.
I jumped the gun.
Okay, 1998. This seminal album from a female artist is released.
Oh Jesus!
Only album from a female artist came out in 1998.
This is their only release.
I think so. I don't know.
Magnet. Lauryn Hill.
Could you be more specific?
The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
That is correct.
Yeah, there you go.
This seminal technological device debuts.
Magnet. BlackBerry.
I'm sorry, it was not a BlackBerry.
Multiple choice, please.
Okay, the multiple choice is BlackBerry.
Okay.
We've got external hard drive. We've got Microsoft Zune. We've got Apple iMac. And we've got Apple iPod.
I was gonna say iPod, so I'm gonna go with iPod.
That's wrong. It's my Mac.
That's right, it is iMac, but you had already lost by
I
saying
know.
BlackBerry.
I know. 2-2.
So you didn't lose it because you had the multiple choice. So what's this?
2-2.
2-2? What?
Because I was up 3-2. I lost a point.
Oh, you were up 4-2, dude. So you're up 3-2 now.
No, I was up 3-2.
All right, fine. You're keeping score.
I was
So-
up 3-2 because I
It's
lost a
3-2.
point before.
Yeah.
It's 2-2.
It's 2. Yeah, it's 2-2. Anybody's game.
What currency debuted in 1998?
Magnet. The Euro.
That is correct.
Damn it. Okay.
4-2.
Okay. 2 more questions. This British citizen was knighted by Queen Elizabeth in 1998.
Monster. Elton John.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, tied game.
Tie game.
This is for all the
Tie
marbles.
game for all of the marbles. Well, I only have one left on here, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be weighted towards one person or another.
Oh, no. Here we go.
All right, since the last question is 2, we'll see. Because if you can get... Okay, so there's 2 answers to this question, okay? If you can get both of them without the multiple choice, you will say you get 4 points.
Okay.
But if you can get one of them, I guess we'll figure that out. But we're trying to look for both of them, okay? In 1998, America was enthralled with a Major League Baseball home run race.
Oh, Monster.
God.
Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire.
That's correct. How did Matt knows nothing about sports?
I don't know.
Get Mark McGuire
Listen,
and Sammy Sosa.
I was a middle schooler, and it was all that the kids on the school playground talked about. They
Nice, of
certainly
course.
weren't talking to me about
Sammy
Monster
Sosa.
Magnet.
Yes.
All right.
Well, see, that's because you went to some whack ass school.
All right.
Sorry, that brings us. Yeah, of course. What do you think?
Thunder Blunder.
I guess I'm obviously here riding hard. I think they're absolute thunder. Power Trip, the album, thunder. Space Lord. I mean, come on. And then if you dip through the other stuff, look, I don't know the stuff current day thing they put out. One of these albums they put out 2 years ago. It probably has some stuff to listen to. It's probably not as good as Power Trip, but look, you're gonna find something you like. We definitely didn't miss the mark by just having Space Lord. The world missed the mark by not having more out there.
Hey, Chris, it's pretty obvious where I'm going to lean. So how about you go in case...
What, you're going Thunder?
Maybe. Where are you going to
go? It's not anything I would ever listen to. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. That being said...
To anyone.
I mean...
Not a human on this planet should listen to this band.
I would not want someone to listen to Monster Magnet and someone go to that person. Why are you listening to this? Go, because Chris Fafali has told me to check out Monster Magnet. I don't want that to happen. That should not happen. That being said...
Tell him Jim sent you. It's fine.
I got respect for someone that can keep it together for so long and keep putting out music, and certainly predates a lot of the stuff that I was reminded of that I don't like from it. In fact, the band started in 1989, well ahead of a lot of the stuff I don't like that came after. So yeah, What? This is the most just whatever thunder. Thunder, I guess. That's fine. Thunder.
I want us to make stickers that say Chris Fafalio's recommended. We just go to used CD stores and slap it on every Monster Magnet. Yeah, I'm going to go Thunder. I like this band.
Yeah, Dave Windorf.
Certified.
Get your ass to the mailbox because that letter is on its way.
This has been One Hit Thunder. One Hit Thunder is hosted by Chris Fafalios of the band Punchline and produced by Matt Kelly of Geekscape.net. Underneath me, you're hearing The World off the Punchline album Action. Visit punchlinemusic.com for any upcoming news on the band. Our podcast is on Patreon, so find us at patreon.com/OHT podcast for early access to episodes, bonus conversations, and a chance to vote on future songs for us to cover. Make sure that you rate, review, and subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app, and tune in next week for more One Hit Thunder.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.